Hello, everybody, and welcome to our lovely class this evening, which is the commencement class for our study. So, this is a beautiful essential oil study where we have given you samples. I hope you either have them or they are on their way to you, and we are going to be journeying with you and helping you use them, which is, hold on, our absolute joy. So just to say, I'm going to go on, I'm going to explain that I'm a nurse and but actually the oils and products in this study are not designed, we have to say this disclaimer, not to diagnose, treat, cure or prevent any disease. But if that happens by accident, then that might be a happy situation for many of you. So, and if you have any concerns, please seek medical advice first. So, I would like to just share, before I say three things about essential oils, I'd just like to share a little bit about who I am. So, my name's Jen. I am a nurse, I'm a mum of three, and I discovered essential oils almost 7 years ago now, and they have absolutely revolutionized our way of healthcare basically in our home, which has been quite unbelievable from a house that was very medicalized, and that's all I knew and that's what I did. And so it is now my joy to share, and these are the three most basic and amazing thing about doTERRA essential oils. Number one is that they are safe. So this links into them being really pure. So they are 100% pure. How do we know that? Well, on the bottom of each essential oil, I don't know whether you can see because I'm probably really small on speaker view, but there is a lot number on the bottom of every oil. You can go on a website called sourcetoyou.com and you can actually see the testing for your batch of essential oils, which when I heard this, I was literally amazed and astounded as a mum, but as a nurse, someone who's quite scientifically minded. I just thought that's amazing. They actually give the testing for each batch. And then if I buy another, this is peppermint oil, if I buy another peppermint oil in a year, what happens then? Well, then there's a different batch and you can go on again and you can look again. And forever and ever, this is the commitment they have. And I love that about them. Also, as the customers, to help us feel safe and secure. So these oils are from plants. They are from the leaf, flower, the root, all different parts of the plant, and they are distilled either with steam or with cold pressing to the just absolutely pure essential oil. So it says in the middle here, 50 to 70 times more potent than herbs. And in fact, one drop of peppermint is about the equivalent of 28 cups of peppermint tea. So for those of you on the digestive study, you are going to realize that when you try the peppermint, it really packs a punch. Now we've diluted it in this study, so you're not going to drink it this time, but you can, but we've diluted it. So you're going to use it actually topically, but more about that in a bit. But this is the sort of power that you're going to get when you experience these oils. And even just smelling them and inhaling them, which hopefully you've done, I hope so, from your samples, you'll start to get a sense of how powerful they are. Now, the second thing is that they're effective. So you may or may not remember from GCSE biology that the outside of your cells is a lipid layer, so it's fat. So actually, amazing truth about essential oils is that they can get into your cells. So the actual benefits to your body by them actually getting into your cells is phenomenal. So the actual health benefits are absolutely magnificent. And we've got many testimonies that I could share, even just from my community, from people who bought essential oils with me and all the families that I've helped so far on my journey, and the other coaches. But actually, what I'm excited to hear in this 10 days that we have together is your stories. So more on that in a minute as well. And then the last thing is that they're affordable. So what we do is we use so little because they're so powerful. We're talking 1 drop at a time, 2 drops at a time, or diluting them like we have in your samples, which makes them go even further. So yes, we have to make a bit of an investment initially to get them in our home, but once we have, we are able to do so many things. We are able to make them go really far. And actually, when you learn that the same lemon essential oil, for example, that those of you in the digestive study have, when you learn that that same lemon is really brilliant in your water in the morning to help your digestion, but actually you can also use it in lemon meringue and also use it in your lemon and poppy seed cake and also use it to clean with and also use it to get marker off your walls, your mind's going to be blown. And you start to see the benefit in 1 little bottle of lemon. So I've already said this, I think, but just as the doTERRA difference is pure, safe, and potent, and they are certified, pure, tested grade essential oils. So these oils are tested, each batch of oil is tested 54 times, believe it or not. 54 times these oils are tested by 13 different testing, and it's more than any other, which is how we can guarantee the purity. Now, this slide I love. I won't spend loads of time on it, but it just shows you, hopefully even you guys on a phone will be able to see it, that the oils are grown all over the world. So what doTERRA don't do is do what's convenient, which is probably buy up a whole load of land and then grow everything on it. But actually what they do is they source the plant to make the most therapeutic oil for health reasons and for health uses wherever it grows in the world. And then actually, because it grows sometimes in places that might struggle, then they put in infrastructure. So then you're talking supporting with schools, supporting with hospitals in some places, and then there's distilleries that employ people, and this becomes this thing called co-impact sourcing. So what I like to talk about with co-impact sourcing is good for the planet. So that's really important. So they won't oversource things like frankincense. They only tap the trees. So that's where we get it from. We get it from trees. They only tap the trees once every 3 years because of respect for nature. So good for the planet, good for the people. So they pay all the growers within 48 hours, which is unheard of in the essential oil industry. They're very often just not paid for many months on end. And then good for us. What actually that means is that we are getting a really pure product, and actually in these little bottles is exactly what we want and need for our health and our well-being, which is pure essential oil that will change things for us. So 3 ways to use, and we are going to be covering many of these within the study. So the 3 ways to use essential oils are number 1, aromatic, which might be what you know already. You might have seen a diffuser. You might have been given an essential oil or even just held a little bottle, took the lid off, and given it a smell. So this is aromatic use, breathing the oil in. There's loads of benefit to this. For those of you on the mood study, we are really encouraging you several times a day to get a drop of oil on your hands, rub it together, and take big inhales. And that is actually going to shift mood for you and hopefully lift some of those anxious feelings, support that stress response. The reason is that actually this is true aromatherapy as such, which is breathing in the essential oil. So it goes up the olfactory nerve, which sits at the back of the nose, right into the brain, the limbic part of the brain. So you've got the emotion center, you have got memories. So it's the same reason we're tapping in to the same science you might already know about. If you're anything like me, when you walk past a bakery, you are transported into your nan's kitchen, or certainly I am, when I was about 6 or maybe 9, and where she used to make bread. And I can remember everything about it, where she stood, what it looks like, where the table was, where I used to sit. Such a clear memory. And it just comes from a smell. And that's because this connection is made in the brain. So what we can do with essential oils is we can essentially try and hack our mood or emotion that we want to feel. So with those of you on that mood study, we've given you oils to ground you, oils to uplift you, oils to help with the stress response, and we're going to use them by breathing them in. The second way to use essential oils is topically, which means putting them on the body. So this is always needs to be with diluted essential oils. So those of you in the sleep study have lavender and serenity, and they are ready diluted for you to use. For those of you in the digestive study, you have got peppermint, which is diluted for you to use. And then you've got Zengest, which is neat, and that's so you can use it internally if you want to. I'll say that in a second. But maybe you've also been given some fractionated coconut, and that's so that you can mix the two to use it again on your tummy. You can try the peppermint or you can try the Zengest and see which one you like best. This is also how you'll be using oils for the discomfort study, which is topically getting them on the places that hurt and seeing how they react with your body. And then we have internal use. Now, when I do my regular classes, I always say, try not to like turn off, think I'm mad or crazy or get a bit of a twitch at this moment when I suggest that you can actually ingest essential oils, because I told you at the beginning of the class that these essential oils are 100% pure. So this is peppermint essential oil, same bottle that I held up before. Now, if you rub peppermint leaf and then you smell your fingers, it will smell very strong of peppermint. And the reason is at the bottom of the peppermint leaf, there are sacs like this that you can see under a microscope if you look, with the essential oil in them. So when you rub the leaf, you're breaking the essential oil sac of the plant, and that's what you're smelling. So there is nothing other than the pressed essential oil from peppermint leaves in this bottle. So there's no reason why you can't use this in hot chocolate, in your own ready-made chocolate, in peppermint brownies, or wherever you would choose to, or in warm water to really support digestive system that's struggling, or even on your temples, to help with head tension, or a drop under your tongue, though. Watch out if you do that, because it's really, really powerful. Blows your head off a little. You've had your warning. So we can use them in all these different ways. Now, a little bit of safety advice. You should have been given some safety instructions, and I'm going to bob them in our Facebook group actually this evening to make sure that everybody, even if you've not been printed out and given them, that you've got them. So biggest one to tell you is that if an essential oil gets anywhere, whether that's topically on your skin, that it feels a bit hot, a bit warm, and a bit uncomfortable, or it gets anywhere near your eye and feels a bit burny, the answer is not to wash it with water. That's your instinct, is to wash it with water. The answer is to dilute it with some sort of oil. So I tend to use coconut oil if this ever happens in my home. I have like a jar of coconut oil in my kitchen. I get a piece of kitchen towel, I scoop it, I rub it usually on the child that has put it in their eyes, if we're honest, in my house. And it instantly sorts it out, because when you put the oil on, it dilutes the oil that you've got somewhere by accident. Whereas if you put water on it, it drives the oil into wherever you don't want it. So hopefully that's basically the biggest bit of safety advice I can give you. Otherwise, we've hopefully told you how to use them safely on our instructions. Now, with your sample bottle, the thing I always need to remind people is how to get the drops out. So let me just reach down and get one. So I've got a little bottle of Balance here, a tiny mini one. And how you do it, because in my bottle of peppermint here, that comes straight from doTERRA, if I turn it upside down, a drop will come like this. But hold on, let me just put that away. In your sample bottle, if you turn it fully upside down, absolutely nothing will happen. And I have had many people over the years ring me and tell me it is broken. I've given them a broken sample bottle. So you turn it all the way upside down and then you tap the bottom. And I don't know if you could see the little drops coming out there, but if you tap the bottom, the drops will come out. Now, three taps or 3 drops from a sample vial is about the same as 1 drop. So we say use 2 or 3 drops, that's absolutely fine. And it equates to one drop from a bottle like this that I have. So for most of them, we've given you 14 drops in there, which should be well enough for our 10-day study altogether. And written at the bottom here. Please note that peppermint and Zengest and deep blue can cause tingling. Yes. So sometimes it causes a bit of tingling, and actually this is a normal thing because actually it's got some mint in there, so it is opening up the vessels. So that's one of the ways that it works. But for some people, this isn't that pleasant for you. So if that happens, then what I've said before is relevant, which is put some more oil on or cream, even something that's going to dilute that area if it's a feeling that you don't actually enjoy. So I'm just going to run through each of the 4 studies so that you know what you are doing. So anxious feelings or mood. This is the one to sort of take a screenshot of if you've not got, hopefully you've got some printed instructions, but if you haven't. So you've got wild orange, which is neat, a neat sample. So I had a lady on the last study that we did in September, and she said, oh, I tried them with my children as well. And she said, but my daughter didn't like the wild orange. And I said, oh, that's really unusual. I've never really met a child who didn't like wild orange before, but there's always a first. And she said, yeah, well, I got a bit out of the bottle and I just popped it on her head, and she really didn't like it and said it stung. And I said, well, it was neat oil, which we said, you need to be careful. So please be careful. You can use these with your children, but they always need diluting with children. So just make a little mental note of where we've said neat. So apply the drops into your hand and then rub them together, create a little bit of warmth, bring your hands, cup them up over your nose and mouth, and take 5 long, deep inhalations, and then repeat whenever you have anxious or overwhelmed feelings. So these are to go in your handbag. They're to go with you. They are to be your little toolkit all the way through these 10 days together. You've also got balance. So you can apply this onto your neck, the back of your neck, on the bottom of your feet. And this we want you to use every morning, and even maybe every evening as well. I'm sure you've got enough to do that. This has got really grounding oils in it. So it's a really beautiful way to start your day and a really beautiful way to end your day actually as well. And then adaptive. So adaptive is the oil to help you adapt to stresses and strains of life, to the ups and downs. This is again the one with the wild orange that you're going to put in your bag and take everywhere with you. You could, if you like to wear scarves, it's a lovely one to tap some drops out onto your scarf and just keep smelling during the day and feel the difference. So those are your 3 oils. Now for the digestive health, you've got peppermint. So you're going to place 2 or 3 drops and put that on the area of discomfort. So remember, this is diluted, ready for you to do that. And for nausea, or really just if you want a pep up, or if you just want to just feel a bit less grotty, you can try also putting it into your hand. So into the palm of your hand, rub it together. Same as the other studies. Take 5 deep breaths. Zengest. 2 options with Zengest. We've kept it neat so that you've got the option to put it into some water. Warm water tends to be quite nice with Zengest. It's quite strong. Don't put it just in boiling water because it will all evaporate off the water. So you want, if you're going to do it, maybe 1/3 of a cup of cold water and maybe 2/3 of a cup of water, and then put a drop onto the top there. Meaning 1 drop is 1 real drop is 2 to 3 out of your bottle, remember. And you can also use this topically, but you're going to want to dilute it before it goes onto your stomach area. And then lemon. So lemon we want you to use every day for your first drink of the day in a glass of water. The interesting thing about lemon is that it is pH neutral. So I've never come across, I don't think in all my years sharing essential oils, someone who couldn't tolerate lemon in a glass of water. And I've met a lot of people who can't tolerate lemon juice or a slice of lemon. So if you struggle with the acidity of lemon, be reassured. I have actually tested it with a pH strip. This is pH neutral, so this isn't going to create any more acid in your stomach. So get this into you first thing in your day and tell us how differently you feel. So with this, start with your lemon oil and then build it up and add the other oils and decide when you're going to use them. And if you're struggling, then reach out to the person who invited you on the study and they'll help you. With discomfort, you've got two oils, so slightly less overwhelming maybe. So the deep blue is pre-diluted for you. So you are simply going to massage this into the area of concern 3 to 4 times a day. We want you to use this regularly to feel the benefits. I actually had someone from my last study manage to come off all of her over-the-counter medication that she was using for discomfort just by this one oil. It is absolutely phenomenal, and I hope that we get more stories like that this time. And then you've got copaiba, which is an unusual sounding name, isn't it? It's from the copifera tree in South America and the Amazon. And you are going to also apply this topically, or because we're giving it neat, you can take it internally as well. And we'd say tend to say drops under the tongue, or you can just put it in some water, and that is to calm inflammation generically in your body to try and help with discomfort. And then lastly, sleep. So again, you've only got two oils. It's a little bit simpler and they are both pre-diluted. So we want these to get these on your body and we want to get you inhaling them. We want you to do both. So decide how you want to do that. Both of these oils can be applied. You can use them together if you want to. You can use them separate. You can choose to inhale one and put one on your feet, or you can even put them with some Epsom salts and have a bath. And they're a beautiful way. That's a beautiful way to use them on the way to sleep. So what's next? We have hopefully sent you the pre-study questionnaire. We would really love it if you could fill that in and then get your bottles and use them. So I want to encourage you. You're here. You have invested in yourself. You have committed this time and you've turned up to this evening's call or you're watching on the recording, and use this as a moment to invest in yourself for these next 10 days. There's so many reasons why you can't manage to fit this in, but there's so many reasons why you should. So I really want to encourage you that because you have committed to do it, to open the bottles and to use them. And then I can't wait to hear the benefits. So during the study, what's it going to look like? So from tomorrow morning, we are going to have some videos dropping into the Facebook group. We're going to have some lovely images and sort of infographics so that you can see some information, and we'll do a different essential oil each day. So it won't be jumping around. If we have a day all about lavender, that's what you'll hear about on that day. And then the next day might be lemon. I try to interchange it. So I'm doing each different study the day after the next. So you're getting a real flavour of all the different oils as you move through. There's an invite to ask any questions daily. I will be in and out of that group every day to support in any way that you need. And the person that you invited should also be in the study and will be in the study, but also will be available for you to message them and get back to them. We're going to celebrate any wins. We are going to actually also do some giveaways and some prizes for people who are, I notice, who are commenting or who are able to share something back into the Facebook group. There'll be a few giveaways there. And I said, yeah, oh yeah, now I've mentioned giveaways. I have to get them ready to go so that they are a bit more timely than on my last study. And I'm good at getting them posted out. And then to complete our study, we're going to send out a final questionnaire. So this is beautiful because it allows us to see where you were and where you've moved to over the study. And we really hope that the reason why we are all here as coaches and people who've used essential oils for a little while, maybe even a few years, is because genuinely these essential oils have changed our life. So I actually got essential oils when my daughter was struggling with regularly going to hospital because of her breathing. And actually, the trajectory of that totally changed when I just was brave and tried essential oils. My friend said they might help, and they did more than I could have ever anticipated. And then I went through things in my house. Right, okay, my husband's struggling with digestion. Wonder if we can help with that. Well, we did. And then he was struggling with sleep. Wonder if we can help with that. And we did. And that's how I went on in my home. And I accidentally started a business sharing oils. And now I very much on purpose share oils. And it's really a mission for me to help you have these experiences and experience life-changing results as a result of these amazing pure essential oils. So we want to hear about your experiences at the end. And then we've got a final Zoom call where I'll share some of the results. You won't want to miss it. And I'll share also how you can get your own oils if that's what you want to do, if they've been life-changing for you. So that is the end of our little session this evening. I'm going to stop the recording so that I can answer any questions live from the people in the room. So goodbye to the people on the recording. Please message in the Facebook group if you have got any questions.